Invest like a Jedi, not a Stormtrooper. Most fail. Yeah, that title's not just cool, it's the brutal truth. Most people out here? They're investing like wild Stormtroopers, shooting at every trend, falling for hype, and panicking when things go south. Maybe that's been you too. You keep chasing the next big thing, hoping it'll fix your money problems overnight, but all it's doing is keeping your wallet on life support. You work hard, but your bank account never reflects it. And deep down, you're exhausted from starting over every few months. Let's be real, it's not your fault. Nobody ever taught you how to build real wealth, only how to survive. But surviving ain't the goal anymore. You want freedom. You want to make smart investments, build passive income, and finally feel like you're in control of your money, not the other way around. And that starts by learning to trust something most people ignore: your discipline, not your emotions. You're about to unlock finance tips, habits, and personal finance strategies that'll blow your mind, not with hype, but with what actually works. This ain't theory, we're talking real steps, inspired by Jedi-level clarity. You'll learn how to make money without gambling at all, how to start a business even if you've got $50 and a dream, and how to create investments that build wealth even while you sleep. If you're tired of feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like you're missing some secret code to success, this is it. No more shooting in the dark. It's time to aim with purpose. By the end of this, you won't just be thinking differently, you'll be doing differently. Because once you understand how to align your mindset with proven strategies, nothing can stop you. So let's get into it, and in just a second, I'll show you why emotional investing is the biggest trap keeping you broke. When it comes to managing your finances, trusting your emotions can be a huge mistake. Think about it like a Jedi, they rely on discipline, not on their feelings. Emotions can cloud your judgment, leading to hasty decisions, whether you're deciding on investments or starting a business. Take the time to educate yourself. Dive into financial education, learn the basics, and develop the skills needed to make smart choices. When you know what you're doing, your money mindset shifts from reactive to proactive, and that's when the magic happens. Imagine being in the middle of a battlefield like in The Matrix. Neo doesn't blindly follow his instincts, he trusts his training. In the same way, you've got to prepare your financial strategy. Start with habits like reading books on personal finance or following investment strategies from experts. Once you've built up your financial education, you'll stop making decisions based on panic or hype. Instead, you'll make them based on what works. That's the power of knowledge, your personal finance lightsaber. If you don't trust your training and fall back on emotions, you could end up like the Stormtroopers. They fire wildly and miss the target. In the world of money, this means bad decisions. Instead of throwing your money at every hot tip you hear, focus on smart, calculated moves. Focus on investments that align with your long-term goals. You don't need to shoot from the hip. Precision is key, whether you're investing in stocks, real estate, or creating streams of passive income. In movies, we often see the hero who relies on their training, not their feelings, to win. Take Rocky, for example. He trained hard, and when the fight came, it wasn't about emotions, it was about skill. The same applies to building wealth. Trust in your financial training, and it will guide you to success. And when the market fluctuates or your emotions try to take over, remember, stick to the plan. Next up, you'll learn how to use patience as your greatest weapon. In the world of personal finance, rushing is the fastest way to lose. Just like a Jedi doesn't sprint into battle, smart investors don't chase every trend they see on social media. Building wealth isn't about quick wins, it's about consistent, calculated moves over time. When you practice patience, you stop falling for hype and start seeing long-term opportunities. That's how real passive income is built, not overnight, but day after day, with solid money habits and smart financial education. Ever seen The Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi taught Daniel to wax on, wax off for weeks before even letting him fight. That's exactly what it feels like when you're building up your investments. It's slow, sometimes boring, but it works. Investing in index funds like VOO or SCHD might not sound exciting at first, but give it 10 years, you'll thank yourself. It's the power of compounding, and patience is the fuel that keeps it growing. Most people mess up because they want results yesterday. They jump into sketchy how to make money fast schemes or gamble their savings on crypto without doing research. But if you zoom out and think long-term, you realize that the best investors are the calm ones. They're playing the marathon, not the sprint. And that's the energy you need if you want to master personal finance and build real wealth without losing your peace of mind. You know what's wild? In Breaking Bad, yeah, minus the illegal stuff, Walter White didn't become a kingpin overnight. It was all about playing the long game. He strategized. He waited. That same mindset applies to how you handle your money. When others are panicking or chasing the next big thing, you stay focused and let your investments breathe. And coming up next, you'll see why aiming with precision beats trying everything at once. Let's be real, throwing money at every opportunity you see online is like being a stormtrooper in a firefight, all noise, no hits. Smart investors move like Jedis, calm, focused, and deadly accurate. It's not about how many investments you make, it's about making the right ones. Quality beats quantity every time. That's why the best finance tips always include picking your shots carefully and aligning them with your long-term goals. Remember in The Dark Knight, how Batman didn't waste time fighting random street punks. He aimed at the root of the chaos, Joker. Same thing with your money. Don't invest just to feel productive. Put your cash where it counts. Think dividend-paying stocks like JP Morgan, REITs like O or Vici, or even starting a business that solves a real problem. That's how you build passive income with intention, not desperation. A lot of folks fall into the trap of chasing everything: stocks, NFTs, crypto, dropshipping, you name it. But spreading yourself too thin means you end up knowing a little about a lot, and that's dangerous in personal finance. Instead, go deep, not wide. Learn how to start a business in something you understand. Focus on investments you can monitor and grow. Mastery builds momentum. And momentum builds wealth. Ever watched Moneyball? Billy Beane didn't look for the flashiest players, he picked undervalued ones who fit the bigger strategy. That's how your investment game should work. Stop swinging wildly. Build a money mindset that values precision, not panic. Because up next, we're going deeper into the Jedi mindset and learning how to read the market like it's speaking directly to you. A Jedi doesn't just react, they sense. They feel the room, the shift in energy, the patterns others miss. Great investors do the same. They don't just chase the latest headline or jump into hype. They look at the full landscape, history, trends, timing, and they play the long game. That's what makes a real money mindset, understanding that personal finance isn't a sprint, it's a map you learn to read. Think of Stranger Things. The kids don't just fight random monsters, they figure out where the threats are coming from and plan their moves. Same with your investments. Before you drop money into something, study where the market's been and where it might be headed. Are interest rates rising? Is AI reshaping industries? Knowing this helps you see what others don't, and that's how you make money smart, not fast. Want real-world proof? During the 2020 crash, while most folks were panicking, savvy investors were looking ahead. They saw the boom coming in tech, remote work, even healthcare stocks like Teladoc and Moderna. That's what happens when you sense the bigger picture. You don't react emotionally, you anticipate based on data, patterns, and long-term vision. And that takes serious financial education. This kind of vision isn't something you're born with. It's built through habits like reading financial news weekly, following long-term investors, tracking your own portfolio. It's not just about what you invest in, it's about when and why. And when you master that, you become someone who doesn't just ride the wave, you learn how to spot it before it even forms. And speaking of waves, what do you do when the market gets messy and fear kicks in? When markets crash, most people freak out like stormtroopers under fire, no aim, no plan, just panic. But a Jedi investor? They breathe. They pause. They observe. That kind of self-control isn't about being emotionless, it's about training your brain to focus when everyone else is losing theirs. And in personal finance, that's a superpower. It's how you hold onto your investments instead of selling low out of fear. Picture The Dark Knight Rises. When Gotham's falling apart, Bruce Wayne doesn't run around screaming. He watches. He waits. He chooses his moment. That's exactly how you handle financial chaos. Instead of dumping your stocks or draining your savings, you reassess. Is it really a crash or a discount? Many millionaires are made in recessions, not when everything's perfect, but when everyone else quits. Here's a real example. During the 2008 crash, Warren Buffett invested billions in companies like Goldman Sachs while others were running for the hills. Why? Because he knew how to read fear as an opportunity. That's the mindset that turns setbacks into setups. But you don't need billions to do this. Even choosing to keep your index fund untouched while others sell off is a win. That's money mindset in action. The trick is having a solid plan before chaos hits. Set your emergency fund. Build passive income streams that give you breathing room. Don't rely on hype, rely on strategy. Because when everyone's reacting emotionally, the one with a calm plan leads the game. And speaking of staying calm, how do you train that kind of steady strength so it becomes second nature? A Jedi doesn't master the Force overnight, it takes daily discipline. Same goes for building wealth. You don't become financially free with one lucky stock or some get-rich-quick trick. It's all about habits. Small, consistent actions stack up over time. Whether it's automating your savings, checking your budget weekly, or reading one finance tips article a day, that consistency is what builds real, long-term power. Think of Cobra Kai. Miguel didn't turn into a killer fighter in a week. He showed up every day, got beat down, stood back up, and kept training. That's exactly how you master personal finance. You keep learning, adjusting, showing up for your goals even when it's boring. Try setting a 15-minute money check-in every Sunday. Review your expenses, track income, maybe throw $20 into your investments. Feels small? Good. That's the secret. Most people overestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a year. You don't need to be perfect, just consistent. Start with $5 a day into a high-yield savings account or an S&P 500 ETF. That's about $150 a month, over $1,800 a year. Now imagine that with compound interest over 10 years. That's not just numbers, that's freedom building brick by brick. The real flex isn't how much money you flash, it's how strong your systems are. Routines protect you when motivation fades. The more you train your money habits, the more natural they become. And once your strategy is part of your identity, chaos can't shake you. But here's the catch: to build that unshakable mindset, you've got to protect something deeper than routines. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. That hits deep, right? Your money mindset isn't just a nice to have, it's the foundation. The way you think determines the way you spend, save, and hustle. If your mind's cluttered with fear, guilt, or scarcity, no finance tips in the world will fix your money problems. You've got to rewire your thinking before you can rewire your finances. Picture Good Will Hunting. Will had the genius, but his trauma blocked his potential. Same with your finances. If your beliefs around money are based on shame or lack, you'll sabotage every chance to grow. Start replacing toxic thoughts like "I'll never be rich" with "I'm learning how to make money smarter every day." Read books like The Psychology of Money or Think and Grow Rich. It's not just knowledge, it's mental fuel. Your brain's basically a muscle. What you feed it daily shapes how strong it becomes. Start curating your content. Follow people who teach you real strategies, how to start a business, build passive income, or make smart investments. Set boundaries with people who drain you or mock your growth. You wouldn't train with a coach who laughs at your effort, right? Same rule applies to your circle. This mindset game? It's spiritual warfare with numbers attached. You're not just learning how to budget, you're learning how to believe in abundance, even when your bank account's on E. Protect your thoughts like a Jedi guards the Force. Because the moment you do, you start unlocking levels you never thought were possible. And now that you've strengthened your inner game, it's time to tie everything together in a way that actually changes your reality, starting right now. You've come a long way. Remember how you used to feel like your money was always slipping through your fingers? Like no matter how hard you worked, you were always one emergency away from starting over? Now you've seen the truth. Wealth isn't about chasing, it's about choosing. Choosing the right habits, the right financial education, and most importantly, the right mindset. You don't need to live paycheck to paycheck or stay stuck in survival mode. You've got tools now. You've got power. So here's the real question. What are you going to do with all this? Are you just going to scroll on, or actually apply what you've learned? Because action beats knowledge every single time. Ask yourself, what's one finance tip you're going to use today? Which investment habit are you going to commit to this week? If this video sparked something in you, don't let it fade. Se inscriva agora para neo perder dicas que podem transformar sua relicao como dinheiro. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one, because we're just getting started. And if you're ready to level up for real, to stop guessing and finally master how to create passive income streams, eliminate debt, and keep your mind strong even when your finances get tested, you need to check out Holistic Health. Nourish your mind, balance your finances, transform your life. This isn't some generic think positive fluff. It's a practical system built to help you stay focused, build wealth from any starting point, and design a life that feels as good as it looks. Click the link in the pinned comment now and start transforming your finances today. It's your time. Check out the material in the pinned comment.